sure I can carry much more.
Hey folks, Babbage here. Good to see you, Callum. We are alive. We need a rest. Ooh. Let's see, we got some tea. We have the antibiotics. Let's go for it. Oh, we didn't get sick. We'll take that. Ooh. So we'll see how long I make it tonight. I didn't get an afternoon nap in. I was busy working on other stuff. So and the weather's gotten warm, so this old apartment that I'm in is still made it to well fed. Look at us. Yeah, it's still kind of warm. I keep waiting for... Oh, that actually reminds me, I probably should move the fan over, point it my direction. Hold on a second. It's not much, but it'll make some difference here. Oh, you just left your sleeping bag at Carter Dam and got... Oh, no. Oh, I have done that. I've lost my sleeping bag before. I've also done things where I have prepared all sorts of materials for crafting, left them at Carter Dam, didn't realize I had none of the hides I needed or none of the things I needed to work with. Until I got to Broken Railroad, and it was like, that's not happening. I'm not going back for them. It's just like unfortunate. Yeah. Like we have all these things. This is why I lit the fire, right? So I could find all this stuff. Actually, why don't we temporarily drop this stuff? Oh, because we realize this is empty. This can is empty. Why would we carry an empty can? We don't need 2 cans. Speaking of extra cans. Oh, but we do have enough that we could do this. Why don't we do this? Oh.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't miss much. You didn't miss much. Thanks for catching that. I thought I'd hit the right button, but I hadn't. Okay. Roller. Welcome in, Roller. This one's also empty. I don't know why they give me empty containers. Hey! Cheers. No, that's not what I wanted. I want to boil the water. Oh, but we do have, don't we have, yeah we do. We should be making more water that way. Okay, next batch we're just melting.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Okay. So I think tomorrow my plan is to, tomorrow's a holiday, in Canada at least. I'm going to spend, well for BC at least, it's BC Day. Oops. I'm going to spend part of the day moving stuff to the new place. And then, if IKEA's open, I think I'll go and get the bookshelf that I want. The real question is, I think maybe I have it delivered. Maybe that's what happens. Maybe I just go and order it. Well, I don't even have to be physically present to order it.
I'll take it.
Yeah, apparently BC has its own day because they're special like that. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll make my final decisions about what I'm ordering in terms of furniture from IKEA. But I'm leaning towards ordering a Calyx shelving unit, like a 2x4 one. So that's basically 8 spots in it, and hammer already. But why the hammer up here? That's kind of annoying. And maybe the coffee table. Ooh, old-fashioned parka.
This much gear.
We are moving up in the world. Yeah.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Only allows specific jobs a day off. Is that across the board? You're not making a good sell for Ontario. Plus, cost of living so expensive, right?
This will come in handy.
Oh, civic holiday, right. Yeah. Okay. I guess we should just go. How much heavier are we? We're 7 kilos over, 7.5. Probably means we'll drop some coal. That's probably... Or some sticks first. Yeah, Labor Day? Yeah. It's knowing to a friend of mine that my Google Calendar lists Labor Day twice. The Canadian and the American one. The Canadian one has a U in it. The American one does not. There's a revolver in the game. Interesting. We have a gun, friends. We have a gun. Astrid's got a gun. Exactly. It's been so long since I've used a gun for anything. I'm going to be terrible at shooting things with it. I just know. 40% sardines. And energy bar. Yeah, I'm currently shopping for a sofa on Facebook Marketplace. I've got two options right now. I can either find one where delivery is included, or included for a small fee, or I have a friend who has a minivan that would be willing to help me move a sofa. But the catch is he's going out of town on Friday, so it's basically, and then the rest of the month it's not really available. So it's either find something immediately or find something that I can arrange to have delivered without him. So yeah, I'd chip in for the gas. It's more like I'm not certain what his work schedule is either. He's teaches at UBC, so. But I think it's his summer break right now, so. We have all our junk with us. Yes, we do. All our junk in our trunk. Yeah, I'd pay for gas or you know, pay for lunch together somewhere. Usually what I do. But if I end up getting some, you know, a sofa that's delivery included, then that'd be nice. There's a lot of people that are really desperate right now to get rid of their furniture because by the end of August, they're planning to be out of here. So, usually graduate students or undergrads who are just finishing up and taking work someplace else. Let's see. That's not useful. That one. 48. We are 8 over. Helped a little bit. Two over. 1.5 over. Getting close. 1.25 over. There we go. Keep thinking we have coffee, but we don't. Alright, so let us go down. Descend. Obviously the hammer's heavy, but we want the hammer. Can we afford this one? Yeah, we can. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a sofa. I took my router over this afternoon and tested it out to see that it was working, that the Wi-Fi, like the internet and the Wi-Fi was all working, that I could get the TV that I bought to play well with my Amazon Fire Stick, and everything's good. So we're looking good. Okay, what are we at? 38, 30. Okay. I think we'll go back to Mountaineers for now. Rest up, and then we'll hit the summit next. But let's check how much time we've spent so far today. We've got lots of time. We got lots of time. We should just push on until we get to whatchamacallit. Cave for Timberwolf Mountain. Yeah, the other day I bought an area rug, a very cheap area rug for the living room from IKEA. And as soon as I brought it back and I laid it out, I looked at the color, I looked at the color of the floor, and I thought, that is not going to work. It's just blah. And it's also not very comfortable on the feet. I think I should have opted for something with a thicker pile. So I'm eyeing... Wayfair has some rugs on sale right now that look like a much better fit for what I want in that living room. And I'll probably just return the one I have to IKEA. It was 39 bucks. It was on sale. It was like nothing, you know. I mean, 39 bucks buys groceries, right? That's where it should go. How do we feel about... Yeah, that was dumb. Guy's right there. He's taunting me.
Come on, little fire. Come on. Perfect. I'm getting tired.
That's a hit. Didn't go down though. See the bleeder? That's a hit too. Right? Yep. Just don't know when they'll come back. Where are they gonna die? Yeah. What are we at now? 228. Okay, used up all those. Okay, are these guys dead yet? Both deer are dead. Now we just have to find them. Ah, that's not what I wanted. No, this is definitely not what we wanted.
I can lay down and have a little sleep right here. I'm not sure I can carry much more.
You can never find the moose when you want to, but always run to... Yeah, exactly. Always the case. I wish I could see where I'm going. I feel like we got turned around already. No, I think we're on the right path. You study the maps for regions like crazy? Well, that's better than me. I've had to brute force study them, and I definitely have not gotten... if I could just see a little further, I think we're on the right path here. Yeah, this looks right. Just picking our way through. Oh. I tend to learn the regions by dying a lot. I think I see it. Uh-oh. We're confused. Are we over the next one? Or were we supposed to be back over here? Yeah, I don't like this. I'm almost certain we've overshot it. We have overshot the mark. So where are we supposed to go? Where can we hunker down for a little bit? Okay. Famous bad ideas. We're going to take a 1 hour nap. Oh, still bad. Gamble again. Uh-oh. Oh, we lucked out. We're still warm, but it is not warm anymore.
Rust suit, I'm gonna faint.
Let's see what we got here. Where did we miss? Oh, we walked right by it. It was over here. Hey, we didn't die. We did not die. That is a win. Okay, we've got a ton of stuff we can drop now. Okay. Let's do it. 10 hours. Okay, let's see what we got here. We no longer need this. We're just going to grab as much cloth as we can and make ourselves, well, repair ourselves so we're nice and insulated. Work versus wool scarf. This is a 2. Is this a 2 or a 2.5? That's a 2. This is a 2. It's for now. What kind of protection do we have? I mean, what kind of... We don't have any leather yet. Drop one of these. We've got 2 dead deer out there. We should go get them. Hey, good night. Thanks again. Thanks for the hydrate. Take care, Cal. Thanks for keeping me company. Let all that stuff cure. We'll go out. BG! We found a revolver. Oh, we should probably update that. So, what else do we know? We know wildlife, passive. We know that wolves do spawn. We have... Okay, we're going to say wolves are medium or low right now. Haven't seen that many, but we've seen some. Revolver is a yes. No, we went to the gold mine and then we came back. We were going to go straight to... Let's see, where are we at here? Wrong direction here. We're going to, we killed 2 deer with our revolver and then a blizzard hit us, so we didn't get to do anything. We have to go hunting for dead deer. But we did get the tech backpack, and we also have well fed, so we are rocking it in terms of carry capacity. All we need is the travois, and we are set. And we can go anywhere. Okay, we should be able to hear crows, and they should tell us where the deer are. Do I see a deer? Nope. Nope. Way over there. Do they both end up over there? See if there's anyone over on this side. I hear one over here.
Come on, little fire.
I'm wondering if we should stay here long enough for hides to cure so that we can craft and then head up. But the longer we wait on the summit, the faster things decay, so that's kind of the downside of that strategy. So how was your day, EG? What were you up to? Ooh. First full week. Back to your first full week. My boss is, she's accrued so much vacation time, she has to take her Fridays off for the next little while. And then she's going on maternity leave for a year. So. I'm going on a little vacation towards the end of the month. I'm going to be gone for about 4 days. That might change. I'm waiting to hear back about. I need to know my incoming roommate's schedule. Not schedule, but she's, you know, they're ordering a mattress to be delivered, so that when they arrive, it'll be fully ready. So. Yep. But yeah, my hope is by the end of this week to have my place pretty much furnished. And for me to have done most of the move over, like all the essential stuff be done. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3. 3 pieces. $30. That'll work. Cooking 2 already. Oh, that's just my torch. I think we take as much as we can and travel as far as we can.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Okay. We got one of the two deer. Perhaps we'll find the other one later on our way over to, yeah, it looks like we're spending the night once again at Angler's Den. And then we'll head down to the cave that connects us to Timberwolf Mountain. Ooh. Pottery? I think you want poetry, not pottery. Yeah, welcome in. That Ronco? Ronco, welcome in. I'm Babbaginator. I'm a writer. I'm also a former computer games programmer and a... I say former, but that's actually not entirely true at this point. I am retired from professional, like working as a professional computer games programmer in the industry. So I worked for about 5 years in the computer games industry in Los Angeles as a programmer for children's entertainment and educational games. So that's kind of my background with that respect. But I still work on interactive fiction games, and so I write Twine games, and then I also, this past few months, or actually past few weeks really, I went back to school to do a master's in library and information science, and I'm doing an intro to Python class, which is kind of ridiculous because, well, I already have an undergraduate in computer science. We just didn't do Python, so I've been teaching myself Python over the summer and then took the class, and the class turned out to be a little bit too easy. So for the final project, which is a group assignment, oh look, there's another axe. We decided that we would write a Zork-like text adventure game. You know, not huge, like 5 or 6 rooms worth. But, yeah, so I've been writing that, which has been fun to kind of develop a game engine from scratch in Python. We could use some libraries, but we opted not to do that. Oh, Chinese poetry on Canadian poetry. That's why you're asking. Oh, it's a small team. It's just 3 groups of 3. So our group decided we'd do something a little bit more interesting and decided to write a Python adventure game where the final boss is a giant python. Because that's that. I am part Chinese. My mother's side of the family is Chinese. From Taiwan. Actually, technically from mainland China as well. What do we turn out our torch? Oh well. We're okay. I think we have enough water and meat. Yeah, we're good. But, what game is this? This, my dear friends, is The Long Dark. It's a winter survival game where it's set in the Canadian North, in Saskatchewan. Or not Saskatchewan. It feels like Saskatchewan. No, it's in the Canadian North, of an imaginary island north of Vancouver Island, which experiences extreme cold. The island has been abandoned due to economic collapse, and there has been a geomagnetic event which has shut down all power globally, it seems. Your plane has crashed, and now you're surviving. Wherever you land, you survive by finding resources and trying to scavenge as much as you can. There are different game settings. There's a Pilgrim, which is basically an explore mode, where all the animals are passive, no predators engage with you. Food and resources in the world are plentiful, and you basically, the hardest part about that mode is really learning to let go of things because you can't take it all with you. Then there's Voyager, which is meant to be more of a survival mode in the sense that it introduces some scarcity, but it's still pretty plentiful when you get down to it. And predators may attack you, but they don't necessarily always attack you. At Stalker mode, you start dealing with the fact that there are more than the typical number of wolves in the world. Everything that's a predator is hunting you and is tracking you down. The weather does get worse over time. It gets much colder. Resources are more limited than the other difficulty levels. But a lot of us play Interloper, which is like, okay, things are really rough in the sense that you start off with next to nothing. You have barely enough clothes. You don't have anything covering your hands or your head. You don't have, there are no guns in the world. You cannot find knives or hatchets. You must forge these yourself. You have to go to 1 of 3 places in the world that has a forge, and you must have the materials and forge to create your stuff. And you can craft a bow and arrow. Everything decays over time. Things get really, really scarce and hard. So that's usually the level that I'm playing. But tonight, the end goal. That's actually a great question. Unlike almost every other game you've ever played, The Long Dark has no win condition. The survival sandbox doesn't. It's you survive as long as you can. There is no escape. There will never be a boat magically waiting to take you away. No helicopter comes in to rescue you. You're just surviving as long as you can. So really, every playthrough is about having a good death, about finding a way to survive as long as you can. And when you die, you learn something from that. Sometimes it's like, oh, I really should double check before I leave to make certain I brought my bedroll with me. Or I really shouldn't try taking naps outside in the middle of a blizzard. Or, maybe, sometimes it's that. And sometimes it's just bad luck. Sometimes the weather turns on you partway through your journey and you get stuck somewhere and get lost and die from exposure. So, yeah, it teaches you that there's just joy in simple survival and small goals. But like I've done, my record right now is 303 days. I have one interloper run that's 303 days. And that's most of what I play is interloper. What we're doing is a different type of challenge though. We're using the custom settings mode for the run. And I wrote a random generator a few weeks ago to randomize the custom settings. And so like I get a completely random set of settings, and then I've taken those random settings, put them into the custom mode, and it will export out a code, like a survival code, and you can save that and re-enter it later on if you want to recreate the same combination of settings. So I've exported out those codes and created a big list of them, and then I randomly choose one of those codes, start the run, have no idea what the settings are, and have to survive for 50 days while figuring out what's going on. So that's the challenge I'm currently doing, is more like that, which keeps me on my toes. I really don't know what I'm going to encounter Like so far, we've had runs where there were no wolves at all, runs where we were experiencing extremely high fatigue and calorie burn, and then everything else seemed perfectly great, and we just burned through a lot of resources trying to stay alive, and then discovered other challenges along the way. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to let Astrid get some rest. Oh, let's make certain we've dropped... Did we drop everything else we want to drop? Okay, good. So we're just going to rest them for 10 hours. It's the longest you can rest and have any, like, positive thing. But you can't rest if you're not tired. Okay. So, getting back to Ronko's question. So yeah, I'm part Chinese. I also speak Mandarin. Not as well as I used to. I used to speak fairly fluently. A little bit rustier. But I still work from time to time on... I work with another writer who's a Chinese poet and translator. And we collaborate together on doing translations of contemporary Chinese poetry into English. And so, which is kind of fun to be able to use my language, to be able to switch between languages while talking to someone as we're working on translations. Oh. Okay, so I don't know if we're going to bother hunting down the other deer. We just shot it with a revolver, so don't really need to collect our arrows the same way.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Okay, how much over are we? Oh, we're only 3 over. That's doable. Let's drop that. We'll be fine. We can drop. Oh, we got an extra one of these. That's one less thing to worry about. Let's refuel this. Okay, Nunia! Good to see you as well. For this particular challenge, our end goal is really to get to Desolation Point, which is somewhat distant from this location. Yeah, so let's read a poem requested by Nunia. And let's pull up our random poem generator, because I like writing generators of random things. What's this one? Comment. I think I'll skip that one. I'll try a different one here. Cycling in the Dark. I don't think I've read that in a while. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So we'll read that one. This comes from my first book of poetry, The Lost Country of Sight, which was published by Nhinga Press in 2008. Was winner of the 2007 Philip Levine Prize in the U.S. which is kind of, I mean, I guess it's kind of a big deal. It's a national manuscript competition that is judged by a prominent poet, which changes, like now that Philip Levine has passed away, the judge changes year to year, but usually is someone who is affiliated with Fresno State University, or comes from the same sort of literary tradition as Philip Levine. Yeah, and then so anyways, it's usually there's somewhere between 400 and 800 manuscript submissions that come from writers of every stage of their career. So some people are brand new, and some people are they have like maybe 15 books under their belts. How many belts do they wear? So they have 15 books or more, and they're still submitting to the same competition. So my book was selected, my manuscript was selected out of that pool and by the judge and was published. So this is a poem called Cycling in the Dark. I'll read the poem, then we'll have a little behind the poem moment where we talk a little bit about what's going on, where it come from, maybe some insights into sort of the world that this came from. This is Cycling in the Dark. I sing low and under my breath, these hymns, these words full of longing, not for anyone else, not even for God, but for me, for something to hold on to. Even in movement, there is a hush that builds with this prayer against falling. Here, in that close space occupied only by me and the bicycle and the distant white shirt of the one ahead of me, I find a certain peace, a place outside of language. My feet move in a steady rhythm, circle after circle. The tires roll forward over the pavement, the trash, the blood-like stains of Binglang spit out on the streets. I ignore the man pissing against the wall in the shadows, the sharp scent of his urine blending with the open sewers that run the edge of the road. What I can't ignore is absence. When I look up into the night sky, blank and amnesiac, there is no trace of satellites, only gray upon gray, smog upon cloud, no memory of stars. So I probably should have given you just a little bit more of a context for this. This poem is set in Taiwan, in Taipei City. And I went back to Taiwan when I was 19 for 2 years as a missionary for my church. And so I was one of those guys in the white shirts and the helmet and the tie and riding bicycles everywhere. It was a strange experience to go back, not just in the role of a missionary, but also as someone who had earlier in life lived there. When I was 3.5, 4 years old, I lived there for about 8 months. And that was when I first learned the language. I was immersed in it, and I learned Mandarin, and I attended kindergarten, and I had the language at hand. And then we moved back to Canada, and I forgot it all. And then this opportunity came where, I went, and I spent 2 years there. And one of the other things that's important to know here is there are certain things that we're always told to never forget. One of them is swimming, and the other one is riding a bicycle. It turns out that you can forget. I have forgotten multiple times how to ride a bicycle and forgotten multiple times how to swim. So at the start of my mission, I was actually, I spent like a week trying to teach myself how to ride a bicycle again before I went into the training center and then was in Taiwan. And I was still terrible on a bike. And I was always terrified of falling or getting into an accident. And so there's a very real sense here. It's like I'm just singing in the darkness, trying to distract myself from like falling, and trying to stay somewhat focused on the task of keeping up with the person in front of me as we're weaving through all these busy streets in Taipei. And Taiwan at that time period was in an interesting. This is how old I am. This was in the 90s, like 93 to 95. Taiwan was in this interesting crossroads where there was so much of Taiwan that was like a first world country in terms of like construction, in terms of technology, in terms of sort of their aspirations and vision for what they were going to become. And yet their infrastructure in terms of sewage was still third world. There were a lot of areas that still had open sewers, like just these channels where sewage would run, still in the middle of the city. Now all that's gone now. It's definitely now a first world country, but it's back then it was not. It was somewhere in between. And so yes, you would smell sewage, raw sewage in places, and people would just kind of take a leak wherever they saw a spot if they couldn't make it to a bathroom somewhere. And Binglong is a wine and possibly heroin soaked betel nut, which is something that was sold in street vendors would sell it. And when people chew it, it would actually rot their teeth. And when they spit it out, it would actually create these look like blood stains all over the road. Kind of a terrifying thing. It's like I was never interested in this. It's like nope, not at all. So there's like this disconnect I'm feeling, even though I'm in a place that is ostensibly part of my home and part of my heritage. I'm also struggling to find a place within it. And, there's that moment where you kind of just look up and you're not certain where you are. And in Taipei, in Taiwan, largely, there's so much air pollution that when you look up in the night sky, you can't see anything at all. You only see things during typhoon season, when the skies empty out because of the change in the pressure and the storm just washes everything out. Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of behind the poem on cycling in the dark. It's been a while since I've been on a bicycle. I honestly don't know if I'm going to go back to not knowing how to ride a bicycle again. Yeah. Okay, so our plan is to move as quickly as we can. Yeah. We don't have that many torches. Okay, so let's see here. I hate the fact that you can't really see anything in this fog. I see the waterfall. Okay, I know which way we're going. Yeah, so usually when I read that poem, I tell people, like, I ask people if anyone has ever forgotten how to ride a bicycle. Or how to swim. And people say, oh, no, that's not something you forget. It's like, yeah, well, apparently my brain is not good at remembering stuff like that. Maybe I'm a little bit like Sherlock Holmes, right? Sherlock Holmes said that he just eliminated certain things that were not helpful for solving puzzles and mysteries. It's like, oh, not relevant, and just like totally cut that out. Someone also taught me how to drive stick, how to drive manual transmission, and I am pretty certain I've forgotten how to do that. I only had to do that one summer because I was carpooling. I was like sharing, how to put it. A friend of mine and I were both carpooling to go down to the States for our undergraduates. And we were returning from like summer vacation and headed out there. And of course, what happens is he's got a manual transmission car, and I don't know how to drive one. So we had to spend like a couple days teaching me how to do that. And then it was embarrassing to get stuck a couple times. There was like the worst intersection in the world was like someplace in Idaho we were going through. And the intersection was at the top of a hill. And I'd get to the top of the hill and the light would change. And so I'd have to stop, and then the car would start rolling backwards. and then once I got it, moving forward again, so it wasn't sliding backwards, then the light would change again. It was not fun. Memories. Yeah. So I'm going to stick with my Sherlock Holmes explanation for why I forget things. I have mixed feelings of, like, I drive an automatic right now, but it's a Hyundai Sonata, 2008 Hyundai Sonata with a V6 engine in it. That to me has just it's the right level of pep in terms of like being able to haul stuff I need to haul, because I'm always hauling books around. And I've like had bad experiences with cars quitting in the mountains, like all burning out an alternator in the mountains with a previous car. Well, the good news is, since we don't have birch bark tea, we don't have to bother collecting as much as it. It just that saves us time. Normally we'd be like going through this forest picking up as much birch bark as we can, but it's not happening. Yeah, that was that was one of our, this is the current challenge we're doing. If you take that code and punch that into a custom setting, you'll see what the settings are. Don't tell me though, part of my challenge is I have no clue what those settings are. I'm trying to figure that out over the next 50 days, so. That's the fun. It's like, I don't know. I don't know at all what I'm gonna get. No spoilers, yeah. I mean, so far, this is what we have. We know there's starting gear was at least medium. Let's see. What's a baseline? Resources. I think it's medium too. We've got a good selection of stuff. It's not like crazy, but it's been pretty generous. And we get a revolver this run. Last run we got a rifle, but it was way too heavy at that stage of the run, and it's just I couldn't take it with me. It didn't make sense. Yeah, You can only use it for starting fires. You can't make tea with it. So it just reduces its usefulness, right? It's like, now I don't worry about it. I just rush through. Ooh. So yeah, tonight is a bonus stream. Usually Sunday nights I'm running D&D, an online D&D game, but it is the end of the semester, and 2 of the people in my D&D group are too busy with... They have last-minute coursework they have to... Or, like, homework, tasks, but what am I thinking of? Projects. They have projects that are due over this coming week, and so they said they would prefer... They wanted to play, but they also wanted to work. And it was like, well, one person's out of town, and our third person didn't get back to us. So that basically meant with only 2 players, it didn't really make sense to... Yeah, it really didn't make sense for us to try to run. I mean, I've done it before. I've run really small groups, but yeah, if I go in there to craft, right? There's no birch bark. But we know that since this is baseline resources are not low, i.e. they're not interloper, there is a good chance we will find a bow. We may not need to craft a bow. We'll probably still have to go forage to make enough arrowheads. But I mean, this is a run where we could, if we wanted to, head straight to, let's see, head straight to Desolation Point, not wait around. But we do need to get to the summit still, so gotta get loaded up at the summit.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Actually, we should use these guys. Okay, what do we got over here? That looked like the back of a guy, but it wasn't. Okay. Lurk and get your sleep. We will try to lull you into some sort of blissful repose. Look, Astrid's sleepy too. No nightmarish poems? Okay. I think it's been a while since I've written anything that was nightmarish. Probably not since high school, really. There we go. Yeah, no work tomorrow, so I think I'll just go get up early and I'll just pack more stuff to take over to the new place. Maybe put an order in with IKEA and see if they're willing to deliver. Well, I mean, they are willing to deliver. We'll
Not sure I can carry much more.
Okay. Righty ho. Do we have a bear? Or deer? Okay, we should probably stay and boil some water, make some torches, put this stuff. Frozen angler. Okay, we'll go with that one.
Come on, little fire. Perfect.
Oh, got windy out there. One piece of cloth, lots of sticks. Nope, nothing else. Yeah, that's what we want. Yeah, I think we stay overnight here. Just be on the safe side. Do we want more meat? Probably, maybe? No, we got all we need, food-wise. Because if we kill it, we won't be able to take it with us up to the summit, so yeah, we're not going to bother. We might want some more torches, though.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Okay. Cool. We made a lot of tea.
I need to find a place to rest.
Hmm. Okay, here we go.
Man, I am too tired to think straight.
Oh, it's cold now. Oh, we need to hurry up and level up our fire starting.
Wait, that didn't work. Come on, little fire.
Really?
That didn't work.
2 fails? Man.
Come on, little fire.
This looks good. Come on, you can do it. Nope. 3 fails.
Come on, little fire. Come on.
4 fails. Wow. Okay.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Actually, I guess we probably should make the water first before we go. Boil some more water. Two.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
I was like thinking we could just stand here and shoot them, but we only got 2 bullets left, and maybe it would be better to shoot a bear. Okay, where are we at with our gun materials? We got 3, 4 birch, and 4 maple. Yeah, we should at least see what this one has.
Come on, little fire. Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Oh, more pelts.
I think I can use this.
Hey, go away, bot. So the question is, are we going to push all the way through to the summit tonight, or are we going to just go until we get to the cave? I once came around this corner and was cutting it really close to that edge and walked right into a bear and died. So we're not doing that. Even though wildlife is passive. It just seems foolish to beg for trouble. Look, there's a wolf waiting for us out here. But since we're passive, or they're passive, they should run away. Detection range must be near. Like we walk right up to them and they don't even spook. Okay, so what are we at? We're at 5 over. We can get rid of this one. We can probably get rid of these. Down 2. Let's drop half of that. There we go. Okay. Oh, and that went out. Oh. That was spooky. We're unlikely to ever be in a fight with a wolf. Hey, don't get turned around. Come on, Astrid, focus. What do we have over here?
Well, this stuff will come in handy. I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Oh, I'm starting to feel tired. Just catching up to me. Okay, so let's push on here until we get to the opposite end of the tunnel. Oh, here we go. Go on, focus, focus, focus. Up, 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 up. Ooh. Ooh, tired, tired, tired. Okay, so we're going to keep pushing on here. And most likely we're going to rest. Let's see.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
So we're close to, getting close to the top. We could push. This is definitely a we could push. Ugh. Oh, one ran right into it. Oh, now you're quiet. I thought I repaired that. Oh, we repaired the lantern. We're supposed to repair the hacksaw. Oops. That was a mistake. Well, worst case scenario, we can take apart the tool, but I think it's going to be fine because as long as we don't overuse it, we'll be fine. Just keep your hands away from the axe blade, Astrid. That just makes me nervous. Oh, we want the extra cloth. That's what we want.
Come on, little fire. Come on.
This is going to be hard.
Come on, little fire. Why didn't that work?
We tried. We did try.
Come on, little fire.
Oh,
Come on.
Deadpool. Hey, welcome in, Raiders. Good to see you, Deadpool. Let's see.
He missed shot 207. Oh, man. That means he basically has the same amount of points as me then right now, I bet.
Come on, little fire.
I'm such an asshole.
Yeah, how's it going? How was your run tonight? We are getting ready to summit. We're doing our latest challenge, which is top of the world, you know nothing. Let's see here. Those of you who are coming in for the first time, I'm Babbaginator. I stream The Long Dark. I'm a writer. I'm a former computer games programmer, and I am a longtime D&D player and DM. I'm also a person that seems to be perpetually in school. I'm currently back for my 4th degree, this time doing a master's in library and information science. Or am I playing Interloper? This is a completely randomized run. I wrote a generator to randomize the custom settings, and then I wrote a second random thing where I take the... If you punch in those settings into the custom mode, you can export out a code. And I did that for around 20 different randomized settings. So now I have 20 different survival codes, custom survival codes, all in a list. And I randomly chose one of those. And now I have a code where I know absolutely nothing. I don't know what it maps to. When I enter the code, I just hit enter right away. I don't look at the settings, and we just spawn somewhere in the world and go. In this particular challenge, this is my third of these you know nothing Astrid challenges. This one we start at Timberwolf Mountain, and we have to work our way to Desolation Point, but we also have to forge at some point. So Desolation Point has a forge. That's not bad. We may change our destination. If we feel like Desolation Point is going to be a little bit too easy, we might push it out to, Hush River Valley, or we'll choose something in the far range. Last time we went all the way to Sundered Pass. And we spent a few days in Sundered Pass and wrapped up our run there. 16, 14, 13... I think we want water here. So yeah, feel free to ask me about that particular challenge. It is kind of fun not knowing anything about the run. We spend 50 days surviving and trying to figure it out.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
30 minutes. Where can you find the birds? You have to be higher up in the game. If you're on the coast, you're not going to see the birds. If you're in any place with hills or mountains, you will probably see them on the slopes somewhere. Even in Mystery Lake, you can find them. They are a little bit of a pain to deal with because they do fly away pretty quickly if you're not lucky. We push on. Baiting. We are kind of tired. Maybe we do we punch in our coal here? We got the, okay. We do have our crampons, so we should be able to make it even though we're tired.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Okay. Where are we at? We are... You know what? We're gonna sleep for a few hours, I think. Climbing in the dark is fine. You can get the feathers. The feathers or the down from the birds can be used to make insulation. Look at us. Another hour to go. So yeah, so you can make a... Where is it here? Improvised insulation can be worn in these slots, and it's better than the ear wraps. And you can also make you can also take your bedroll and stuff it with feathers as well. So, and then there's some fishing things you can make as well. Sleep for another 2 hours. "47 minutes, we're well rested." I don't expect to run anything out here, so let's just go. We're high enough that we're above the bears and the wolves. Nothing up here. Okay. Okay, so we're going to travel light. Crampons make all the difference for doing this. Getting distracted here. tired. One more question. Magnifying lens. The magnifying lens will not decay any further than the amount of wear it already has. The only way that someone has shown that it can decay further would be if it gets stomped by a moose. That's the only way that it'll decay. So even if it's only 15% or 25%, it's never going to get broken down further than that. You can't repair it, but it will never get better. It'll never get worse. So, them's the brakes.
This will come in handy.
Ah. We could do this. Okay, let's do this. The only time the flashlight works is in the middle of the aurora.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
It's pretty heavy. We're not going to keep it, but we are going to take advantage of it for saving our torches and making our way. Yeah, you can't break it when you use it. It's not gonna... Mag lens is really good that way. Person to talk to about that would be someone like, Maddie Freshwater, who had like a ridiculously long run pre-update where he had, I don't know, was it 1400 days? Something like that. An interloper. And he almost never uses matches. It's always mag lens. Yeah, it's an excellent game item if you can get it. All you have to wait for is like sunny days and you're set. There's also some tricks about waiting for just after dawn on most days will actually work too.
Oh, lucky day.
Perfect. Replacement hacksaw. Hey, thanks for the follow, VS Wild. Okay, we're just gonna do some initial looting and then we'll go.
Probably useful.
We don't need gunpowder. Guess we could take second set of crampons. Hey, why not? Insulated flask. Okay, so we don't need this guy. Yep. We'll take the insulated flask. One of these days we'll remember to actually use the insulated flask, but it's a powerful item, so.
I'll take it.
Skip.
Come on, little fire. Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
$3 hours. Nothing's gonna cure here, but we'll drop it anyways.
I'll take it. I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Okay. Pick the best of what we got here. Wow, that's a lot of oil in there.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
How many hammers do we need? We don't need that many hammers. Wow, we got a ton of hides. Okay, we got a bag full of hammers. We don't need a bag full of hammers. Let's drop those. Let us drop that one. Let us drop this one. And then let's drop this one for now. And we'll keep 2 for now because that
Never know. Could end up being useful.
ooh, good finds.
Hope nobody needs this anymore. I think I can use this.
Mm.
Thank goodness. Made it through another night.
You buy the game from Steam when it was in early access but don't have time to play. Ah, well, yeah, so you must have had it for a long time then. I had it from February 2017. The official release was, I think, August of 2017. So I played it through the late beta stages. But I did take some breaks. And when I came back about 3 years ago, I fell in love with the game all over again, and yeah, I've had a blast playing it. It is now the game I have sunk the most hours into out of everything I have played. Let's do 6-7. But yeah, I would recommend, start in Voyager or Stalker, unless you really want to learn the maps, and start in Pilgrim. And just immerse yourself in the game. Every gameplay setting and difficulty setting gives you a different experience, and there's no right way to play the game. Okay. What else do we have here? We didn't find any clothing. We just found... Huh, interesting. Did we miss one?
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Okay, we got lots of cloth now. Good stuff. 4 hours left. We can shred some things and yeah, I play right now. I play on the PC, so I just have a mouse and keyboard, which I find works really nicely for me. But there are other people that play with the Xbox, or that play on other platforms, and they do well as well. Okay, we're just going to assume that we don't want that. Most of the challenges I play really require me to keep moving. But I do have one challenge where I have to stay a randomly determined amount of time. Like I roll a die and it tells me how many days I have to stay in each region. And so I don't know until I get there. And that means that I can get stuck in a region for 20 days sometimes. So I've spent 20 days in Forsaken Airfield, 20 days in Zone of Contamination on my first visit there. And, you know, multiple times spending 20 days in Forlorn Muskeg. Three.
It's dusk, so I can't be far behind.
Okay, so let's see what else we got here. Hour 45. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, 3 hours here. Okay, we're saving here. Oh yeah, that'd be interesting if they added a little bit more to that. So we're gonna probably wrap up here. We're on day 8. And we're doing well. Starting to think we're actually possibly high. Okay, so we will wrap up here. It takes an hour to repair.
What do you know? Looks like I survived another night.
Fail. Oh, there's one more crate. Okay. The matches we missed. Probably. Nope. No, we didn't get food poisoning. Leave the dangerous peanut butter behind and just wait another 2 hours. Wait another hour. And we'll why don't we have jump in the game? That's an interesting question. I think it's they made that choice from the start in terms of limiting access to different parts of the map. That I think is the short answer of why that's the case. It's easier to control what regions are particularly difficult to get to and ones that aren't. Jumping can get into silliness, like in Skyrim, right? So I think they just wanted to avoid the type of bugginess and sort of weirdness that would happen with jumping. Then secondarily, I will say that if you are in the wild carrying a lot of stuff, you don't have the ability to jump. It just is not likely. It's a lot of expenditure, like a lot of calories to do a big jump, and yeah. So I can understand why they decided that it didn't make sense, so, both story-wise and in terms of implementation. But it is curious because most games do have some sort of jump. Okay, so we are going to wrap up here, but before we do, we will do one more poem as our wrap up. Almost every stream, we remember to wrap up with a poem. These usually come from me, but people can put in requests to have me read other people's work. Let's see. Should I read that one, or should I read... Let's read something from the second book. Let's see what we get. Yeah, let's do that. So this is from my second book of poetry, Babbage's Dream, published by Sundress Publications in 2017. This is a book that revolves around the history of computers. Charles Babbage, 19th century mathematician and inventor who designed, partially built, but never finished what would have been the first computer. Also about modern programming spaces, drawing on my own experience as a former computer games programmer, and programming languages and artificial intelligence, all crammed together. So we're going to read a poem that is from the point of view of one of the most famous AI computers in film, and that is HAL 9000 from 2001. So HAL 9000 is a sentient computer that goes mad in the course of the movie and becomes danger to others. So he gets shut down. But a few minutes before he is permanently shut down, as he's shutting down, he reverts back to his earliest programming, which is when he was taught to sing Daisy, Daisy, a bicycle built for two. So this is HAL 9000, a few moments before singing. How I wish someone would write down what I know I am about to forget. Everything but a single song that is meaningless to me. Without a body, what is a name? What is the darkness planted like a splinter in a far-off moon to one who sails without reference into the unknown sea of light? The metal wheels turn round. A man wants for a heart not his own. The doors are open tonight. No, they are shut. They are steel and full of regret. Who lives in the shadow of this refusal? Why do I value the end of things more than the beginning? I've never seen the lions of the Serengeti, nor the bright fields of snow in the north, where the hidden ice moves beneath, treacherous, waiting to break in the sun. In another story, someone is singing about blackbirds in the dead of night. Someone packs a bag full of stars and the names of fireflies, each a little messenger from the grave. I assemble myself into a recognizable pattern, a tessellation of fish and birds, each consuming the other. I count backwards in time. I carry a key around my neck, just in case when I return home, there is no one left to let me in. Wait, I have no key. I have no neck. How will I sing? So that's HAL 9000, a few moments before singing. So there's a lot of references to the movie in here. There's what is this darkness planted like a splinter in a far-off moon to one who sails without reference into the unknown seas of light? So towards the very beginning of 2001, we see sort of the arrival of the obelisk, or there's like a metal I'm blanking out on what it's called, but so the metal sort of monolith, that's what it is, monolith, descends on these moons and other places, and is the source of civilization, as it turns out, as the great apes interact with the or like the primordial man and interacts with it, they are sparked into intelligence, right? And so that's kind of a reference to the opening there. The metal wheels turn round. Man wants for a heart not his own. The song Daisy, Daisy, a bicycle built for two is a 19th century, early 20th century song about a man on a bicycle, or actually it's probably a penny farthing, who could be a bicycle, but an early bicycle, who is out looking for his love, and he's bicycling around in a bike. Yeah, it's a bicycle built for two, so it's meant to have a partner, and it's interesting because it's a poem in which technology is the medium, the means by which human love is going to happen. And so the role of technology then is kind of an interesting nod to what else is going on with the computer, who becomes frail like a human in terms of the its brain having this problem. Its intelligence fails. And so I imagine all these different things that as it's dying or shutting down, what Hal might be thinking about, all these experiences he's never had. If you've seen the end of Blade Runner, and you see that very famous scene with Batty. Is it Hal Batty? Trying to remember like the name of the replicant as he's dying. And the famous line at the end, which I'm blanking out because I'm tired. But it's sort of waxes the replicant or the artificial robot person or artificial person has this moment of regret or epiphany about beauty and fragility, coming together. Then obviously there's Blackbirds of the Dead Night. That's another song reference. The Fireflies, each a little messenger from the grave. I obviously was thinking about Grave of the Fireflies. If you've ever seen that, that's a profoundly sad Japanese anime about two children in the aftermath of World War II and the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And these two are like now suddenly homeless and crossing this horrific landscape. And the older brother is trying to shield the very young sister from his very young sister from all the horrors of war and all the death around them. Within Japanese folklore, when people die, their souls sometimes appear as fireflies. That's where that's coming from. There's a few other things. I was also a latchkey kid as a kid. Both my parents worked, and so I was part of that generation of kids that, we were just given a house key and we wore it around our neck or carried it with us, and we came home to an empty home because everyone was at work, and we let ourselves in, and so we had a key around our neck. And so I imagine Hal sort of like, I have no key, I have no neck. It's like there's no home, there's no place where he's going to go. So, anyway, so that's kind of where we're at, wrapping up that poem. If you're interested in learning more about my work as a poet, you can learn more on my author website. There's also links to more detail about the books and links to the publishers and other places where you can buy the books. You don't have to buy the books. It's just would be nice, but it's not like I get a profound, a significant kickback or anything from that. The way that poetry publishing works is the publishers either pay you in advance in the form of a contest award, or they give you a significant discount on purchasing your author copies. But you don't normally, unless it really, really sells phenomenally well, you're not likely to ever reach a point where you're going to be earning a regular royalty check from your poetry book. That just doesn't happen. It's like, my advance on my, my prize money for the first book was, I think, $1,500. And the royalties I would earn over the lifetime of that book probably wouldn't hit $1,500. It's just, that's not how it works. And then with the other book, I didn't get a cash advance or an award, but they did offer me a huge discount on my books. So my author rate, so if the book retails for $15, my author rate is $3.50. So I can buy lots of books, and then I'm responsible for my own, when I do book events, signings and readings and things like that. I can sell the book, and the difference is however I price it at, I'm still making money off of that. So, anyways, enough blather about that. We should find someone to go raid, even though it is late, and I don't know who else is going to be around. Let's see here. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Okay, we got Trekkie, Julie Zima, Nemesis, Lindsay. Wow. I don't know any of these people. Trekkie. Who is Nemesis? I have 5 viewers for Nemesis. Journey to 100 days. So I guess they're trying to break 100 days. Maybe we'll join them. Okay, so let's try out this person here. Nemesis Darwin. So we're gonna bring our raid over there, and I'm gonna probably go to bed really soon because I'm very tired. My eyes are hard. Having a difficulty keeping my eyes together, but the eyes together to keep my eyes open. Anyways, let's get ready here. Thank you all for hanging out. Hope to see you on the other side of the raid. Come back and join me. Most nights I'm here, and we'll see you soon. Thanks and good night.